Hi, and welcome to Summit Center for Spiritual Living, where we share universal good through love. And we're going to have, oh my goodness.
You want to light the candle or?
Yeah. So we don't actually have the candle. I can't actually light the candles.
Oh, there's a big
But Hannah's going to light a light for us.
All
All right. And the first light represents the light of God within each and every one of us. And then the second time she lights it, it represents us as community. And as we get together, we show a greater light. So that's what it's all about. And then John's going to do a song for us.
All right. It's a new month. We're going to start with a new start. Whoop, what is it? There we go. Here we go. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start. From the heart, we're living in a better way. Working together with the skills of many hands, helping each other make the best life we can. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start. From the heart, we're living in a better way. Life becoming better as harm and suffering cease. With kindness for each other, we live and grow in peace. Making a new start, awareness growing here and there, as we care for one another, love flowers everywhere. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start. From our heart, we're living in a better way. For living in a better way. For living in a better way.
Thank you, John. And hi, Kyle. Glad to have you here. So probably going to just be a small little group here. Of course, Deb is here, even though we don't see her. And Carol Ann's not feeling well. Michael's in Kansas by now, or Missouri, I mean.
Blown there by a tornado, or?
Thank God, no. But there for another conference, but either way, so he'll be gone. He'll be back next week, and then he'll be gone again for another conference the week after that. So, yeah, it's just a busy man. But so that's pretty much what's going on now. I'm the speaker today, and then next week it'll be Carol Ann. Third week will be John, and then the fourth week will be Michael. So that's what's coming up on us.
Mm-hmm.
And since I am the speaker, why don't we go ahead and get going into our meditation?
We'll do your 365, you know that?
Yes. Oh, yes, you're right. Thank you. See, no sleep from taking him to the airport. That is the whole problem. Yes. Thank you. So from 365, I acknowledge the source of my true self in God. It says, I will not leave thee nor forsake thee. Our divine nature never deserts us. Like the prodigal son, we may wander into far countries of despair, but the divinity within us ever gently urges us back to the center of our true being. It ever reminds us of its presence. Today, I acknowledge this true self, knowing that it will instantly supply me with whatsoever things I need. Today, I consciously re-enter the kingdom of heaven within me. I sit at the table of the Lord and partake of the divine bouquet, of the divine banquet, the wine of the Spirit and the bread of life. I know that the master of the table is my own indwelling Christ, that part of me that is perfect in God, that immortal self that is birthless, deathless, and changeless. I know that my host is God, the living Spirit Almighty. I live, move, and have my being in the divine presence. In God there is a life. There is life. In God there is peace. In God there is wholeness. There is no need for sorrow, no need for fear or regret. There is no occasion for anxiety or despair. In returning that is whole, I am made whole. In returning unto the power that contains all live things, I realize that nothing can be lost. Today, I keep my vision on this thought. There is one power, one presence, and one reality from which I can never be separated. I am some part of the divine being, and I am dear to the heart of the being. I am one with God, and I acknowledge the source of my true self. Okay. All right, done.
Healing love. Healing love. Healing love. Divine healing love. Beautiful love. Beautiful love. Beautiful love. Beautiful love. Source of life. source of real, source of all, source to heal. Graceful love, graceful love, graceful love, graceful love.
And as we recognize Spirit as graceful love, and recognize that Spirit, God, mind, Creator, the universe, whatever you want to call the higher power behind all that is. That as we recognize that because of that, there is the Creator, and they created everyone and everything. That includes you and me, our planet, stars, the moon, the sun, the beaches, the mountains, the oceans, created everything, all the animals, all the insects, all the vegetation, trees, all created in love. And in that love, there is joy and peace, wisdom and beauty, light and life, wholeness, completeness, perfection. All that God is. Prosperity, abundance, all that is good. What we are created from and above. So recognizing, since I recognize that, I now unify with that source, that wholeness, that completeness, that perfection, the peace and the beauty, harmony, all in myself, but each and every one of us. With my word for not only myself, but for all of us. Summit Center for Spiritual Living, and anyone who's hearing my voice or hearing this later. I first want to know that as Michael was out of town, I could say that Carol Ann, who's not feeling well, that she's well today. It gets better very quickly. I know for each and every one of us, prosperity and abundance, wholeness and perfection. Anything that needs to be healed, that the healing is happening right now. The healing is happening right now. We acknowledge this healing and accept the goodness of the healing as it goes through us in our body, from the top of our heads down to the tip of our toes, for our body, for our emotions, our physical, the mental, spiritual, whatever may need to be healed, it's happening right now. So I also know for peace, a peaceful election coming up as the election to the United States is done in peace. And I know I also claim for the world, the different areas that are in war, that they come together and they find a place for peace, and find a way for peace. Where peace really is, what spirit is, what God is. And knowing this, I give thanks. I give thanks for all the good that is happening right here, right now. For each person, for the spirit within, recognizing the spirit in each other, and finding that peaceful harmony. So one more time, I give thanks. I've spoken my word. So I know it's already done. So I now release it and I let it go. So it is. Amen.
We are love. We are love. We are love. Divine healing love. Divine healing love.
Thank you, John. And as you come back to the present moment, open your eyes and please open your cameras and then take a moment to look at each other, guys. You see the beautiful spirit within. Hey, Kyle, good to see you.
Good to see you
Awful
too.
All right. Well, like I said, and then we got to imagine Deb too, even though she's here. We just can't see her on camera. So, all right. Well, thank you. And so I am the speaker today, as I said earlier. And I was debating about what to talk about. Then I read about something about that there's a second moon, temporary second moon right now. That'll be around for about from like November 25th. And of course, when you're reading it, they show a picture and you're thinking, oh, wow, second moon, what's going on? What it is it's an asteroid that's caught in our atmosphere that's going to ride along with us for about a couple months. And so, but I was thinking, but I thought you could see it if you were in the, if you could see it outside. And as I was reading more information about it, it's only like 10 yards long. Can't see it with the naked eye. You have to have a something more powerful to look at it. So
Mhm.
I was going to talk about that because um, the our Native American teacher that used to come to the center, I was at a women's retreat once, and she mentioned about a second moon, and she had a wonderful story about it, and that really is a second moon that's there all the time. We don't necessarily see it, but so anyway, so I've decided to leave that go. And as I was looking about the moon, the second moon, there's so much going on in the cosmos right now. Uh, we've got a comet coming in. It's like one of the brightest comets that we'll be seeing in the next week. Then we also have the meteor shower that's going, and they were saying that for last night for the there was a lunar eclipse. I don't know. I didn't notice it because it was, it was happened at 3:30 in the morning. It was overcast when I was going to Cleveland, so I don't know. But um, lots of stuff going on in our universe right now, and in our area. And I know a lot of it has to do with just things in general, but also um, the alignment of our planets are in basically in a straight line right now, and which they normally are as they circle the uh, Earth and not together. So all kinds of crazy stuff coming up, and there's all different meanings for it. You can look up all around. So in the process of all this, I decided, well, let's talk about autumn, fall.
Fall began September 22nd and ended.
Couple weeks ago um, was the equinox. We went from summer solstice from the summer to the autumn equinox. So we went from the dark or from the light side to the darker side. We go from summer to fall, and I love fall. Fall's my absolute favorite season of the year. And one, it's a little bit cooler. I can wear a sweater if I want. Because when it's hot outside, it's just too hot. But when it gets a little bit cooler, a sweater and I'm perfect. I love the trees, the change in the trees. It is the time of harvest, and that's what it's all about. It's the time of harvest that with the harvest time here, it is the time um, for most of the farmers that may be doing they brought in their corn and their wheat, and pumpkins are in now, and things like that. And it's the time where they're reaping their harvest. That is what fall and autumn is about. It's the harvest, and it's called the harvest moon for October. It's the reason it's usually kind of figured a little bit red a lot of times when you look at it, but that's because it's closest to the earth at this point. It's also huge at this time. But as we gather our harvest and put it together, it's a time where we go from doing, being outside, doing whatever we need to do and run, do this, et cetera, et cetera. It now becomes the time where we start getting ready for new things to come in. But before new things can come in, we have to let go of the old. So this is the time where we do our harvest and we let it go. We bring it out, we fill ourselves, and then we start making room for more stuff. And that is spiritually what we need to be doing. We start looking at the feelings, our emotional feelings. It's a time where we go from being outside all the time to being indoor more. People a lot of time go to reading more instead. You know, they'll read a lot more. They'll I know with the holidays coming up, a lot of people will be baking and preparing foods and stuff. And then we have all of our different um, uh, religious holidays. Rosh Hashanah just started a few days ago. That's the Jewish New Year, and yeah. So there's just so many things that soon we'll be looking at the time for the Festival of Lights and uh, Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that. So, but we have to, as we reap, we reap our harvest, and we fill up on that, and we let that do what we need to do. It's now also time. It's also now the time to be preparing for the new part of our lives, changing our thinking, or allowing more to come in, whatever it may be, peace or love, joy, um, calmness. This is a really good time for meditation and journaling, because now we're not going to be running around as much, and it's darker earlier. Then we can spend a little more time in meditation and just really knowing what it is that we want. So fall, as we fall into our greatness, recognizing ourselves, recognizing spirit, as we become more and more like spirit and come more into the present moment. The one thing that we can do at any time of the year is to be in that present moment, to recognize, to feel, and to see, and to especially feel and to know that spirit is within us as us. And as we do that, we become more like spirit. So I am grateful and thankful for this. I was reading some different things, different articles about the equinox, and it's also it talks about that this is the Libra season in astrology. Any zodiac that begins as the Earth shifts into a new phase represents initiation and a new beginning, including Libra. For the Northern Hemisphere, Aries initiates us into the spring. Under the spring equinox, Cancer becomes, as we get into the summer, under the summer solstice, Libra initiates fall, and we meet the fall equinox and Capricorn into winter as we reach the winter solstice. for the southern hemisphere, we switch directions, with Aries being in autumn and Cancer being the winter solstice. So it's just the opposite. So the moment of equal day and equal night invites us to inward, to also become still for the moment, to become present with our past, future and present, to become fully present with where and who we are, with what the moment is for us, and to reintroduce ourselves to who we have become. So as we just really start to look into ourselves and feel how you're doing, and that came from what I just read was from girlandhermoon.com. But as we really begin to our spiritual awareness, to really reach into that present moment, just really feel that part of your love, your heart chakra, where love is just filling the entire part of you and expanding out to others. Just so this isn't that great time to reap the harvest and start preparing for a new you, whatever it may be. Yes, we have winter to go yet, but it's time to just get it started. So with that, I give thanks. And if there are any questions or comments, welcome to do that. Ask. Hey, John.
Hey, well, I anticipated you were going to talk about nature and the fall. I don't know why, but I have a song ready for you.
Oh, wonderful.
But yeah, fall. I mean, it's my time of year as well. I had a birthday, and you know, it's like the gateway to fall. And I don't know if you've ever been to Vermont in the fall. That's really the best
Gorgeous.
fall experience I've ever seen with colors, because the fall is short there, and it's farther north, and the colors change rapidly and sharply. They're very brilliant, and
You're great.
really
Yeah.
worthwhile to take a trip, probably over the next couple of weeks in Vermont. But I have friends that are up there right now. In fact, the lady that owns this house I live in, they stay up there till about November.
That's
So I
wonderful.
experience that Vermont fall every year,
Oh, I'm sure it's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, it's stunning. It's stunning. We'll enjoy it around here, of course, but it's so much more bright, and everything changes. Here it's more lingering,
Right.
it's a longer time. There's still green, and you've already got yellow, but up there it's like all at once. Just
Wow.
like somebody poured paint over the mountainsides.
I know when Michael and I took our honeymoon and we went to Tennessee, Gatlinburg.
Oh,
That
I've been
area.
there, yeah, in the Smokies.
Yeah, so we were in the Smoky Mountains.
Oh.
And that was to be up in the mountains too, just in general. I mean, it was very quick up there too. Like Zoom, one day it was it was pretty. Then the next day it was gorgeous. And then it was back to just that. But it just, it was really just a couple days, but especially as the higher you got up in the mountains.
Yeah, the higher you go. I've been to the top of Mount Washington a couple times in New Hampshire.
Uh-huh.
It's the tallest mountain in the Appalachian chain. It's the tallest mountain in the east. But there's several mountains they call it the Presidential Chain that are above the top of it is above the tree line.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if there's any in the Smokies that are that high. Maybe but the higher you go, the plant life is not as thick
Right.
until you get to a certain point where you just have little shrubby bushes and that, but no trees anymore. But of course, the Rockies have a lot of those mountains. But
Right.
the Presidential Chain up in New Hampshire, you have those bald top mountains, and snow is up there quite a bit of the year on top of Mount Washington.
Right.
In fact, you go up there in July, and you have to wear a winter coat.
Wow.
They have the highest wind speed. At least I don't know if it's still the record, but when I was up there, it was the highest wind speed ever recorded on Earth, because the wind whips through the mountains and hits the top of that of Mount Washington. The other mountains are a little bit lower.
Okay.
But they have gaps in the mountains, and the wind whips through there and
wow,
really knocks you. You gotta be careful, you get knocked off the top of the mountain there.
that's crazy.
Really cold in July,
Yeah, especially when you've been in a hot July and you go up there.
You're sweating as you start up the mountain, but you got your winter coat in the car for when you get to the top.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, so that's pretty much it, John. I'll let you do your song. Thank you.
Well, this is a song that I prepared for you to enjoy, and it even has a little line in there that you inspired for it. Although the song started in 1982, I think it was. No, it's not on this sheet, but it's called Nature. Let's see where everybody is here. Just a second. There we go. The sun, the rain, the breeze, the forest and the trees, fruits, herbs, and animals to help us and to please. A waterfall, a stream, leaves and grass so green, woodchucks and chipmunks play in a woodsy scene. If we love nature and want to stay alive, we'll restore natural living for us to survive. Fragrant flowers in the fields, butterflies and bees delight, bats flying in the night, using radar for their sight. The spinning wheel of seasons, the eagle in its flight, the rush of wind on colors, dancing in the light. If we love nature and want to stay alive, we'll restore natural living for us to survive. berries on the bushes, pawpaws falling down, brown pears and black walnuts lying on the ground, mushrooms on a log, leaves floating in the sky, the calling of the birds. Do you know what? Do you know why? If we love nature and want to stay alive, we'll restore natural living for us to survive.
Beautiful. Thank you, John. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so this is that time in our service where we give you the opportunity to give. There are a couple ways you can do that. You can go to Zelle and go online to Zelle and go that way, and you would go to SSC of Akron at gmail.com. That's SSC of Akron at gmail.com. And you can give that way. Or you can send a check or a money order to with the word summit on it. It could be either Summit CSL or Summit Spiritual Center, but it just needs definitely have the word summit on it. And you would send that to 1199 Lexington Avenue, Akron, Ohio, 44310. And John, how about some good, more good? Oh, wait a minute. Gotta pray. I gotta get good for that. So as we take our ties symbolically or actual ties and put them right top over left, just know that all that we have, all that we give, all that we receive, it's blessed in a very wonderful way. That it goes to the work of Summit Center, but it also goes to the truth that sets us free. It got free and is returning 10 times or more to the giver. So with that, I give thanks. Amen. Okay, now some good, more good.
Good, more good is mine, ever increasing good is mine, unlimited, infinite good is mine. Wherever I go, I see good. Whatever I do, I feel oh so good. I'm worthy and entitled to good and more good. Good crowds itself upon us, wraps itself around us. We give ourselves permission to accept more good, express more good. Good, more good is ours, never increasing good is ours. Thank you, Spirit, and so it is.
All right, thank you. So for announcements, I have one. I am now officially a practitioner, religious science practitioner emeritus, which means that I've been around long enough that actually it only takes 20 years, but we did it at 22, to where I've been around a long time as a practitioner. So that happened this week, and
You register for that? Is that it, or
I'm sorry.
you register for that in some way, or?
Yeah, well, yes, you registered for that, and what it was is that you have to have at least 20 years as a practitioner in good standing, and then the nice thing is I didn't have to pay to get my license renewed. So I don't have to pay for my license to be renewed. I could just, I'm considered renewed all the time. So that's good.
Permanent renewal. Good.
Permanent renewal, right. So that's a wonderful thing. And then Michael would want me to talk about New Thought Media Network, and there's lots of things to see and do. But if you want to catch stuff, some good stuff, go to the New Thought Media Network. lots of stuff on YouTube, and anything that Michael does is all on there. And so, and John, any announcements from you?
Yeswise.com. Look for the Yeswise, the Inspire Yeswise tab or button or link or whatever, and check that out. I'll
All right.
put another one up probably today.
Okay.
There's lots of little tidbits, and they're short. They're 5 minutes or so.
Wonderful. I know Carol Ann will be starting a meditation. I'm not sure exactly what the class is, but I'm going to go. It's on a Wednesday night, starting at 8 o'clock, and sometime this month. Obviously, it's not going to be this Wednesday, so I think it's more towards the end of the month that is when it starts. It's a 6-week thing, so. But I'm sure she'll give us more information next week.
I
And
may have something later, a weekly thing for a little while, like some kind of a class, but I'm working on an idea for that.
okay, that sounds good too. All right, so I'm going to. You're going to hear that my oxygen in the background, but otherwise we're going to take a moment of silence and
Take a deep breath.
yes, take a deep breath and just know whoever may need some healing that it's happening right now, that it's taken care of, that the healing is happening not just for that person but for our world. So I'll ring us in and I'll ring us out. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you, Spirit. So it is.
All right. Well, here's Real and True. Life is real. Life is true. We are life, living as me and you. Joy is real. Joy is true. We are joy, living as me and you. Peace is real. Peace is true. We are peace, living as me and you. Love is real. Love is true. We are love, living as me and you. Living as me and you.
All right. Thank you, John. And Hannah, you can finish our Facebook feed now. So